I'm Danielle, and welcome to this enchanted house. Happy Halloween and blessed Samhain, everyone. Both are this Saturday. There's a great full moon, and I thought, since I've kind of concentrated on decor this month, I thought I'd do something a little more witchy for this one that kind of falls closest to it. So today's topic is 5 things not to do when you're talking to the dead. For witches, Samhain is that time of year when we believe the veil between worlds is at its thinnest, and it's a time to be spent communing with and honoring our ancestors. I think a lot of newer witches and people in general, talking to the dead can be a really disconcerting idea, and because it's such unfamiliar territory, many of the people who do attempt it, they fail because they make some really basic mistakes. So I thought I'd cover 5 things not to do when you are attempting to communicate with the dead. Number 1, don't yell at them. Look, I love a good ghost hunting show as much as the next person, but some of their methods are really more about entertaining the viewers than actually making a connection with the dead. Even if you aren't a regular watcher of those types of shows, you're probably familiar with the trope. Some guy, and it's almost always a guy, with a night vision camera in an old abandoned building, usually an asylum, shouting nonsense into the darkness, trying to provoke a reaction from the ghosts.
Yo! Ghosts! I know you're here! Come on! What are you, chicken? Come on! Come at me, bro!
I don't know about you, but if some rando came into my house and started shouting random crap at me, my first instinct isn't to have a conversation with him. It would be to get the hell out of there. So be polite, be respectful, don't demand, request. After all, communication, whether it's with the living or the dead, is all about trying to establish a connection. Which brings me to my next point. So, number 2, stop trying to contact random ghosts. If you're going to treat this as a game, then the dearly departed aren't going to take you seriously. When you go about trying to contact those who have passed, you should have someone specific in mind. It could be a relative or an ancestor. It could be someone associated with the location you're at. But it should be a specific person. And you should know something about that person. You don't like it when random people call you out of nowhere, hence our other contempt for robocalling. I mean, ghosts don't really like it either.
Hello, random ghost person. You are our lucky winner in our ghost cruise. Stay on the line for...
So before you start, know who you're going to contact and what you want to say to them. Speaking of which, number 3, don't confuse spirits with ghosts. There's a difference between the two. Spirits can refer to any non-corporeal entity and can include such things as fairies, nature spirits, angels, malevolent spirits, etc., and including ghosts. Ghosts, however, refer specifically to those who once had corporeal form. It's important to learn the difference between two, as you may make contact with another type of spirit and they play by different rules. And honestly, I think it's more likely to contact something along those lines than an actual ghost. It's why so many magical practitioners emphasize using protection when trying this kind of work, so make sure you're doing something, whether it be charms, amulets, salts, or protective circle. And be aware that all these things, including ghosts, are capable of lying to you. Number 4, don't fear death. I think a lot of people try to contact ghosts for the thrill of it. That thrill comes from a place of fear, of doing something daring. It's the same kind of thrill we get from roller coasters, where we experience great heights, intense speeds, and the helplessness of free fall. However, roller coasters are designed to let us experience those fear sensations without actually putting ourselves in any danger. Trying to contact the dead can seem a way to experience death without putting ourselves in immediate harm. The problem is the dead aren't going to be receptive to someone who's afraid of them. I mean, would you want to talk to someone who seems terrified of you? Instead, you need to approach with an acceptance of death as a part of the natural cycle. Death acceptance and death positivity are things to explore, and I highly recommend the YouTube channel Ask a Mortician, run by the amazing Caitlin Doherty. Number 5, don't expect an answer. Let's face it, just as we fear death, we seek certainty for what comes afterward. We need the proof to comfort ourselves. But that's not how the world works. That's not how any of this works. If you go in expecting an answer, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. That doesn't mean you won't get an answer, just that you aren't owed one. When we talk to the dead, it's much more about them hearing us than us hearing them. A lot of holy days that fall around this time of year, Samhain, All Souls Day, Dia de los Muertos, are all similar in that they're about talking to our ancestors, reminding them that they are still a part of our lives and that we still care about them. As hard as it can be to admit it, communication with the dead is largely one way. I think that's why asking for proof they exist is so counterproductive. Who wants to spend time proving they exist? Ultimately, connecting with the dead should be about two things: honoring those who have passed before us and strengthening our own spiritual connection. So there are the 5 things I wish people would keep in mind when they're trying to contact the dead. Honestly, I don't recommend spirit summoning of any kind to beginners. It's something that takes practice. And even those who have a natural talent for it still have to train themselves to control it. So honestly, I don't recommend it as a lark, but something to take seriously. That said, anyone can talk to the dead. My grandparents passed away years ago, but I still talk to them all the time. When I'm stressed or have a problem, I ask them to think of me, and if they can, help me. When good things happen, I tell them about it, and I wish they could have been there to see it. And sometimes I just tell them that I love them and I miss them. So if there are loved ones who have passed on, I encourage you to take a moment this Halloween, Samhain, All Souls Day, Dia de los Muertos, to just take a moment and talk to them. I'd love to hear your experiences with the dead, or if you just want to ask everyone who's around you to remember someone you love, leave a comment below. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, check out my other videos. If you want to connect with me on social media, I have links below to my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I've also just started a Patreon. At the very beginning, there's a little bit of bonus content over there right now, and if you want to get in on the ground floor and be one of my first supporters, yay, thank you! For everyone out there, have a happy Halloween, a blessed Samhain, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!